This is Andrew bringing you another Keyforge deck reveal and review. This one's going to be from box number 2 from my pre-order displays. It's going to be a Worlds Collide deck. And what am I feeling here? I've been getting some Star Alliance the last couple opens. I would love to get some more Saurian. I'd be interested to get maybe a Saurian Bravnar combo. I don't have one of those yet. We got Untamed, Shadows, and Star Alliance. So none of the things I mentioned. That's cool though. This is She Who Feloniously Greets Harmony. Wow. What did Harmony do to deserve to be greeted feloniously? I mean, probably she didn't. Don't greet people feloniously. If you're doing that, you just stop. You just stop it right now. All right. So She Who Feloniously Greets Harmony, Untamed, Shadows, Star Alliance. Star Alliance, I'm hoping will just speed the deck up. Shadows, I'm looking for steal, some board control in the form of damage plinks. I might get some damage plinks out of all three houses actually. For some board control. I'm hoping for some ward in Star Alliance, and the best version of Untamed can generate quite a lot of amber here and reduce our key cost. But we will see what we get. Oh, Breaker Hill. This is a fun one. So Breaker Hill is a 1-power elf thief with elusive, and each of its neighbors gets action steal 1. That's great. Okay. It's my first one of those. I'm excited. Ooh, 2 of those. Okay. Well, if you have 2 of these next to each other, they both have action steal 1. Inky Gloom is an action that says your opponents cannot use creatures to reap on their next turn. Great way to slow them down. 2 of those. Wow. Javinda. Oh yeah, Javinda is a 2-power elf thief with elusive and reap. Deal 1 damage to a creature. If this damage destroys that creature, steal 1. That's great. Oh, Chain Gang. My first Chain Gang. It's a 3-power elf thief. After you play Subtle Chain, ready Chain Gang, and it does action steal 1 amber and shuffle a Subtle Chain from your discard pile into your hand. Into your deck, rather. So, I hope we get this with Subtle Chain, but I don't believe it's guaranteed. Dusk Runner is an upgrade that gives a creature reap, steal 1. Wow, lots of great steal effects here. This is, I like this, Shadows. No Safety in Numbers is an action with a bonus amber. Play it, deal 3 damage to each creature that belongs to a house that has 3 or more creatures in play. Importantly, this counts both sides' creatures. So let's say I have 1 Star Alliance creature and my opponent has 2. When I play this, that counts for 3, and they'll all 3 take 3 damage. So make sure you count it right. But this is a decent board control card in Shadows. Of course, it'll wipe out all of our creatures, so got to be careful of that. Oubliette is an action that purges a creature with power 3 or lower. Pretty nice. We did get a Subtle Chain. So it's an action with a bonus amber that says your opponent discards a random card from their hand. Now, of course, if you have it with the Chain Gang, it basically reads gain an amber, your opponent discards a random card from their hand, steal 1, shuffle it back into your deck, right? So that's pretty good. Sell 'em All is an artifact and weapon that exhausts to make an opponent discard a random card from their hand. And if you can get that and the Soul Chain going, you can do some real work, I think. Dropping 2 cards out of your opponent's hand is pretty good. Weesand is a 1-power beast and thief with deploy and elusive. If it's ever on a flank, you destroy it. And it says after a player forges a key, gain 2 amber. That's you or your opponent, so that could be pretty good. Ooh. And wow, that's rough. That could be pretty rough. I like it. Oh, this is fun. Okay, so Star Alliance. We have Arms Master. So, by the way, our Shadows here, we have a lot of low-power creatures. That's a lot of low-power creatures, but a lot of steal. Couple cards that knock cards out of our opponent's hand. A little bit of board control, but I like the Inky Gloom. I like it. Okay, let's look at Arms Master Melina. So she is a 4-power human with Hazardous 3, and her neighbors get Hazardous 3. I would love to put her next to a Breaker Hill. Now she can steal 1, and the Breaker Hill has Hazardous 3. That's pretty good. Commander Chan is a 4-power human with Fight Reap, use another friendly creature. Unfortunately, he's not a Play Fight Reap, but you know, if I can do that and then use the Javinda or use the Chain Gang, I'm pretty happy. First Officer Frayne is a 4-power human with Play Fight Reap, a friendly creature captures 1. That could be pretty good. Science Officer Qincan, more steel, is a 2-power alien Proximan scientist with elusive, and after a player chooses an active house which matches no cards in play, steel and amber. That is great. And you know, maybe he's on the board, and I don't mind doing no safety in numbers so much, as long as I don't kill my Star Alliance stuff, because suddenly I'm back to when my opponent or I start our turn, I get to steal 1. We got 2 Qincans. That's great. 3. Oh, this is good. Oh, I love it. Okay. Wow. Okay. Zap is and you know, wow, if you have this next to Brick or Hill, then you get an extra steal out of it. I would love to have this next to the Melina. Or with Dusk Runner. I mean, it's good. Put Dusk Runner on Commander Chan or Frayne. Wow, there's just a lot of amber control in here. Just gonna struggle on the board control as far as I can tell so far. Zap is an action with a bonus amber. When you play it, you deal a damage to a creature for each house represented among creatures in play, and you can split that damage up, importantly. 2 of those. I like that. This gives us some more targetable board control. I'm glad. Information Officer Gray, 4-power human with Play Fight Reap. You may reveal a non-Star Alliance card from your hand. If you do, archive it. That's pretty cool. Lay of the Land is an action with a bonus amber. When you play it, you look at the top 3 cards of your deck and you put them back in any order, and then you draw a card. Really nice. Nurse Soto is a 3-power human with Deploy and Play Fight Reap. Heal 3 damage from each of Nurse Soto's neighbors. Maybe I want this next to the Melina. I don't know. I don't think this is great, but it's okay. Maybe, you know, I mean, it could help me be able to do a little board control with one of the 4 powers, but yeah. This is, yes. Book of IEQ. Okay, I'm very happy. So Book of IEQ is an artifact, an item that exhausts to say reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a non-Star Alliance card, its house becomes your active house. Otherwise, end your turn. Okay. That can be pretty good. Being able to like take a Star Alliance turn and then suddenly switch over to an Untamed or Shadows turn is pretty good. However, with Lay of the Land, it's extra good because suddenly, on a turn that I have Lay of the Land in my hand, I can use Lay of the Land, control what's on the top of my deck, and then use Book of IEQ. So maybe I draw 1 card from each house. I look at 1 card from each house. I put the Star Alliance one on top of my deck, so I draw it, and then I pick between the Shadows and Untamed to be the house I'm going to switch to with Book of IEQ. That's insane. So wow. Okay. I mean, that's just once that you can do that, but that's still great if you can pull it off. All right. So that's pretty good. I mean, I love the synergy so far. Again, my only concern is that we don't have a lot of board control, so we're just going to struggle to keep these cards on the board. The elusive will help, but we can struggle. All right. And, you know, it'll struggle a little bit against Saurians with their, like, you can't steal stuff. Same with Logos. So we just have to be aware of that. If somebody has you can't steal, then this game plan becomes much worse. Let's look at Untamed. We have Bramble Links, 3-power beast with Skirmish. But if you have used a creature to reap this turn, then it enters play ready. That can be good. I haven't had good luck getting that to work out, but we'll see. Yes, Imprinted Murmook. 3-power beast with elusive, and your keys cost -1. That is just fantastic. It's a great card. I would love to have more, but I didn't get more. But I did get a key charge. Key charge says play, lose an amber. If you do, you may forge a key at current cost. I mean, I'm imagining like a last turn where I have Lay of the Land in hand, along with key charge, and I have Book of IEQ on the table, and I can do a bunch of work with the Star Alliance and then switch over to Untamed and get the key charge. That'd be pretty slick. Regrowth. It gives you a bonus amber, and you return a creature from your discard pile to your hand. That's solid in here. Song of the Wild is an action with, this says for the remainder of the turn, each friendly creature gains Reap, gain an amber. It'll just depend on whether we can do it. It's good with the Bramble Links if you can Reap with at least one other thing, right? Tantadlin is a 9-power tree that only deals 2 damage when fighting, but after it fights, you discard a random card from your opponent's archives. That could be pretty good. And this might actually stay long enough to make the Song of the Wild work. Natural Selection. This can help us with our board control problem. It's an action with a bonus amber. When you play it, you choose 3 friendly creatures and 3 enemy creatures, and you destroy each other creature. So if we're just having trouble staying on the board, this can really wipe the opponent's board. We have control over what dies, so we can kill their whatever's making us not steal, etc. We have 2 of those. I think that's pretty good here. 3, wow. That might be a little much, but they're gaining amber, so I think it's fine. Fangtooth Cavern is an artifact with a bonus amber, and it says at the end of the turn, destroy the least powerful creature. That is going to be maybe a little bit of a problem. That's going to be a little bit of a problem. Unless, the opponent has small creatures as well. I'm a little bummed about that. We'll see how it works out. But, it could be good with an Unnatural Selections because ultimately, I'm going to be destroying things anyway. We'll see. Low Dawn, I think has potentially pretty good here. It's an action with a bonus amber, and it says if there are 3 or more untamed creatures in your discard pile, gain 2 amber, and then you shuffle each untamed creature from your discard pile into your deck. So there are, 1, 2, 3, exactly 3. Okay, so that's a problem. And, oh, wow, okay, that's a, wow. Punctuated Equilibrium, wow, okay. It's an action that says each player discards their hand, then refills their hand as if it were the end of their turn. So, okay, Low Dawn is going to be a problem because we only have 3 untamed creatures, so it's not very likely to hit. But, if it does hit, that's great. And if not, it's 1 amber. The Punctuated Equilibrium is going to be real interesting here. Huh, okay, so this deck is interesting. It's going to struggle the most with board control. The Untamed is actually pretty okay if you just forget about Song of the Wild and just get the Imprinted Murmook on the board. It's pretty okay. And then the Shadows and Star Alliance are amazing as long as your opponent can't shut down stealing. So it'll be interesting to see how this works out. I'm pretty curious. It's definitely very Felonious. All the greetings are going to be, not only Harmony, but really everybody is going to be greeted feloniously by this deck. It likes to steal. But it's pretty interesting. Yeah, we'll have to see how this pans out. So that was She who feloniously greets Harmony, Untamed Shadows Star Alliance. I hope you enjoyed, and that you forged some keys.